And the hard out means you have to be done. The show is going to black at such and such time.
Yes. How many seconds until the hard
10.
out? 10 seconds? That's when you asked?
Andy, I said, Khloe, and just real quickly in the seconds we have, there have been some stories that Robert Kardashian is not your...
What if the most famous family in reality TV is built on a lie so deep that even they can't say it out loud? A lie whispered in courtrooms, hospital hallways, and Beverly Hills living rooms for more than 30 years. What started as tabloid gossip has turned into one of pop culture's longest-running mysteries. The question of who Khloe Kardashian's real father is. It's not just a rumor or a meme. It's a thread woven through the center of the Kardashian empire, supported by alleged deathbed confessions, quiet financial agreements, and the people who knew Robert Kardashian better than anyone.
I delayed and delayed and delayed, and they were like, 5 seconds, 4. And I was like, and is Robert Kardashian really your father? And she was like, yes. And I was like, and we're back after your local news. And so that was embarrassing.
And after you went off, did she say anything?
She was lovely.
Yeah.
Other people ran down the stairs going, what just happened? How did you ask her with 3 seconds? Who's your father?
We've all watched this story evolve over the years. What started as casual jokes on talk shows and awkward moments on Keeping Up with the Kardashians has grown far beyond internet speculation. Khloe's paternity has been examined by journalists, insiders, and even the Kardashian family themselves. And the more that surfaces, the harder it becomes to ignore the possibility that this mystery may have been quietly confirmed, not by tabloids, but by the people closest to Robert Kardashian in his final years. Robert wasn't just a famous attorney or a reality TV figure before reality TV existed. He was the man who stood beside O.J. Simpson in court, the father of 4 children in the public eye, and someone who, according to those who knew him, may have left this world carrying a secret he couldn't fully hide. That story begins with Pastor Ken. He wasn't a publicist, a lawyer, or a producer. He was Robert's pastor, a man of faith who guided the family through milestones and listened when life behind closed doors became difficult. Years after Robert's passing, Pastor Gullickson revealed that Robert spoke about Khloe with deep affection, but always with an undertone that suggested something unspoken. He claimed Robert loved Khloe fiercely, yet once hinted that she wasn't biologically his. And coming from a pastor, someone Robert trusted, someone with no reason to create scandal, that statement carried more weight than any gossip headline ever could. When a pastor makes that kind of suggestion, it stops being rumor. It becomes testimony.
We get to the story about Khloe Kardashian and Savannah Guthrie. Why not, of course. But basically, some background. Savannah Guthrie, House of Today, recently apologized to Khloe Kardashian for, in 2012, asking Khloe Kardashian about rumors that Robert Kardashian is not her biological father.
Q3 then came John Ashley, Robert Kardashian's second wife, and the words that reignited the entire controversy in 2012. She claimed that before Robert passed away in 2003, he quietly told her, you know, Khloe's not really a Kardashian, right? Those words, reportedly spoken months before his illness took him, landed like a confession. Robert wasn't young, emotional, or caught up in drama. He was a man nearing the end of his life, speaking honestly to the woman he married late in his final chapter. He had nothing left to gain, nothing left to hide, and no reason to lie. And yet, instead of clearing up the mystery, that statement disappeared under layers of legal threats and public denials. To this day, the Kardashian family has never directly addressed what John Ashley claimed. When you look at the timeline, it becomes hard not to notice how everything lines up. Khloe was born in 1984, the same period Kris Jenner later admitted she was having an affair while still married to Robert. She has never revealed who the man was. That single blank space in an otherwise carefully crafted family narrative kept the rumor alive. And when Kris published her 2011 memoir admitting to her infidelity, the internet quickly began connecting the dots. Those dots pointed to 2 names, O.J. Simpson and Kris's longtime hairstylist, Alex Roldan. For years, O.J. was the louder, more sensational theory, mostly because of how intertwined the Kardashian family was with him. Robert was part of O.J.'s defense team during the trial, and Kris had been one of Nicole Brown Simpson's closest friends. Their tight connection fueled speculation for decades. But both Kris and O.J. have repeatedly denied anything romantic ever happened. In a 2022 interview, O.J. said the rumor wasn't even close to true, and Kris called it disgusting gossip. Still, their denials didn't silence the conversation. Instead, the attention slowly shifted toward the man who had quietly been in Kris's life for years. Alex Roldan interviewed.
I think we're out of time. I was going to ask nothing more to say about what people said about your father, your biological father.
I don't know who my daddy is, I guess.
Yes,
I
you
don't know.
do. Be back, Khloe. Thanks.
wasn't some distant name in the Kardashian orbit. He was close, family adjacent, a trusted part of Kris Jenner's inner circle long before reality TV turned her into a household executive. For years, he styled her hair, appeared in old family photos, and worked alongside her at a time when no cameras were rolling and no empire existed. Insiders have long said that during Kris's marriage to Robert, she spent countless hours at Alex's West Hollywood salon. And when fans later started pointing out the uncanny resemblance between Alex and early-era Khloe, long before any cosmetic work or image reinvention, the speculation caught fire. The same nose, the same jawline, the same eyes, the same bone structure that didn't quite match her siblings' darker, more uniform features. The internet noticed, then the media noticed, and then, infamously, Kylie Jenner noticed. Years ago, she posted a photo of Khloe and Alex together with the caption, "First official photo of my sister and her dad." It was deleted almost instantly, but screenshots have a way of living forever. It was brushed off as a joke, but some believe the humor hit a little too close to something the family has never fully addressed. And that secrecy fuels the next wave of allegations that Kris Jenner supposedly paid Alex a staggering $30 million under a strict NDA. No bank record has ever surfaced. No document has ever been proven authentic. It remains rumor. But the reason it refuses to die is because, to those who follow Hollywood damage control patterns, the story fits Kris's known playbook. Control the narrative before the narrative controls you. People ask, if there's nothing to hide, why would a man with no connection to the spotlight stay silent for decades? Why not dismiss the theory publicly and end the speculation? Why would a rumor so easily disproved stretch across generations? Even Khloe's middle name Alexandra has become part of the conversation. Most see it as a normal family choice. Others see it as a subtle nod that's too coincidental to ignore. And when side-by-side photos of Alex Roldan and young Khloe appear online, the comparisons ignite all over again. Without filters, glam squads, or reconstructive procedures, the resemblance is striking, almost eerie. The kind of resemblance that keeps a decades-old mystery alive because, for many, it looks like the one piece of evidence you can't spin with publicity.
Guthrie made an apology, and then Khloe Kardashian responded and said, quote, "It takes a big person to take accountability," in an Instagram post. So let's get a little bit here, S9 of the Savannah Guthrie.
Meanwhile, we can't ignore Robert Kardashian's actions in his final years. Even though close friends say he sometimes questioned Khloe's paternity, he refused every offer to take a DNA test. "Whoever her father is, she's my child," he reportedly told them. It was a simple statement, but a powerful one, the kind that chooses love over evidence. But love doesn't erase doubt. It only covers it. Both Pastor Gullickson and John Ashley described the same thing. Robert adored Khloe, but he wasn't unaware of the rumors surrounding her birth. And those whispers didn't start in tabloids. They came from people inside his own circle. By the early 2010s, the situation had reached a breaking point. The family even turned the question into an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians Season 7. Episode 1, titled Who's Your Daddy? In it, Kris tries to convince Khloe to take a DNA test, saying it would give her peace and clarity. Khloe refused on camera, insisting she didn't need a test to define her family. To casual viewers, it looked like closure. But to people following the deeper story, her refusal felt more like someone who already knew the truth and didn't want it made public. And the questions kept piling up. If Kris was so sure Robert was Khloe's biological father, why push so hard for a test? Why make it part of a reality TV storyline at all? The Kardashian family has always been experts at managing their image. Yet this time they seemed unusually eager to get ahead of something. Around that same period, Robert's widow, Ellen, said Khloe once broke down in tears after learning a painful piece of family history. She claimed Khloe called her father crying, terrified of what people were already whispering behind closed doors. To some, those emotional moments suggested a deeper fear not of rumors, but of the possibility that those rumors might not be entirely wrong.
Because after nearly a decade away from the cameras, Rob Kardashian finally reappeared.
Rob and I were very similar in a lot of ways. He's super sweet, the funniest person I know. I love having him around.
We look. The clues line up the same way. A pastor's confession, a quiet remark from a man near death, a rumored multi-million-dollar NDA, and even a middle name that suddenly feels less random the more the story unfolds. And yet, despite all these pieces, the official Kardashian narrative has stayed perfectly sealed. The question that has followed the family for decades still hangs unanswered. If Khloe isn't Robert Kardashian's biological daughter, then what exactly is Kris Jenner protecting? What secret would be big enough to justify years of silence, heavy legal pressure, and what insiders claim were massive hush payments? When Khloe refused the DNA test on national television back in 2012, most viewers saw it as a show of loyalty, a daughter standing up for the man who raised her. But more than 10 years later, that moment looks very different. Today, it feels less like defiance and more like strategy. People familiar with the production of that episode claim Khloe's refusal wasn't spontaneous at all. They say it was planned, practiced, and designed to give the public a clean answer without actually giving any answer at all. According to those same insiders, Khloe may have already taken a private DNA test shortly after Kris Jenner released her 2011 memoir, admitting she had an affair during her marriage to Robert, the very confession that reignited the paternity rumors. If that's true, then Khloe's televised refusal wasn't about choosing not to know. It was about making sure no one else ever knew. And that possibility changes everything. It suggests Khloe hasn't been avoiding the truth. She's been managing it. Her silence becomes part of the performance. Her composure becomes a shield. And her carefully chosen words start to look like the armor of someone protecting a secret too big and too explosive to ever let slip.
Now, I think Khloe Kardashian is maybe the more likable of the Kardashians. Has probably always been one of the more likable. Has been one of the more likable of the Kardashian orbit, and her handling of this both in 2012 and now is a good example of why she did really brush it off pretty breezily when Guthrie asked the question back then and said, "I guess I don't know who my dad is," sort of jokingly, and here was pretty classy in response to Savannah Guthrie. But
shift increase. Jenner's behavior almost immediately after that moment. By 2014, the atmosphere inside the Kardashian empire had noticeably changed. One leaked email from Kris's attorney to executives at E! News warned them to stop publicly discussing Khloe's paternity or face immediate legal action. It wasn't a polite request, it was a direct threat. That message confirmed what insiders had whispered for years. Kris Jenner doesn't ignore rumors. She shuts them down. Whether it's journalists, former employees, or old family friends, her playbook is always the same: pressure first, lawyers next, silence guaranteed. Behind the scenes, entertainment reporters have described receiving cease and desist letters simply for pointing out Khloe's resemblance to Alex Roldan. One former tabloid producer even said a story was abruptly killed after pressure from the very top. The pattern is impossible to miss. Every time someone gets too close to the truth, the walls close in. Fast forward to 2023. When a leak from a producer working on the Kardashians sent the internet into another tailspin. During post-production, the anonymous staffer claimed Khloe broke down after rewatching the old DNA test episode from 10 years earlier. According to them, she muttered something that stunned everyone in the room. "Mom knows. I know." If true, those 4 words marked the exact moment the perfect image cracked. They paint Khloe not as a clueless participant, but as someone exhausted by her own family's mythology, someone forced to play the part of the confident, glamorous daughter while privately carrying a truth she's never allowed to say out loud. The producer added that the footage of her breakdown never aired. Editors were ordered to cut around it. The final version was smooth, tidy, and emotionless, exactly how Kris wanted it. Everything in this story, every contradiction, and every correction, leads back to Kris Jenner. She is the constant, the architect, the strategist behind the Kardashian empire. In the 1980s, long before she became a business powerhouse, she was the stylish young wife of a well-known attorney, navigating a world where reputation meant everything. Her affair during that marriage didn't just end her relationship with Robert, it created a lifelong liability. And the timing of that affair lines up almost perfectly with Khloe's conception. That's why so many people from Kris's old social circle, stylists, assistants, even a former housekeeper, say the whispers never stopped. They claim Kris kept pushing NDAs on anyone who might know too much. Even decades later, it's the kind of extreme control you only attempt when the truth has the power to destroy everything you've built.
Oh, I'm happy today. I'm choosing happy, but so much of that came really when I was in my 40s, maybe my last 39th year, because I realized how much of a dark cloud I felt was surrounding me in my 30s.
We can see how Kris Jenner's strategy changed over the years. From the earliest seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, she shaped her daughter's stories with incredible precision. Every breakup, every mistake, every family conflict became part of the show except for this one. When the O.J. Simpson theory resurfaced in the early 2010s, Kris publicly denied it, calling it a disgusting rumor, but she never addressed the other name at the center of the whispers, Alex Roldan. He wasn't defended, denied, or even mentioned. Instead, he was quietly erased. Producers say that whenever Alex's name came up in meetings, the conversation stopped instantly. One former editor said it was the only topic that could shut down a whole production room in seconds. You don't see that kind of reaction when the truth is uncertain. You see it when the truth is dangerous. Meanwhile, Khloe has continued playing her role in the family narrative. Every year she posts emotional tributes to Robert Kardashian, full of love but also something a little harder to define. On what would have been his birthday in 2025, she wrote, "I will forever hold space for you." Fans responded with sympathy, but others noticed the wording. Hold space isn't the same as I miss you. It's the language of someone honoring a memory while also keeping a distance. It sounds less like a daughter grieving her father and more like a woman saying goodbye to an idea she once believed in. That one caption raises a painful question. Was she mourning the man she lost, or mourning the truth she finally accepted? And that brings us back to the psychology of control inside the Kardashian brand. Their public lives are built on careful timing and perfect messaging. Relationships debut on magazine covers. Apologies arrive through Hulu. Family fights wrap up right before a season finale. Everything is curated. Everything is marketable. Except this. If the paternity rumors are true, this is the one storyline Kris Jenner could never monetize. How do you turn into content a secret that could shake the foundation of the family name itself? How do you profit from something that, if confirmed, could change who a Kardashian even is? That's the paradox. The Kardashians have turned every scandal into strategy except the one that might actually be real. And maybe that's why this mystery has lasted for decades. Because while every other part of their image is negotiable, this truth isn't.